Water decals are an amazing way to detail your Gunpla, but they can be a lot of work and sometimes a bit frustrating. Today we are going to see how you can get the result your model deserves, from the tools you need to the technique you will use. This tutorial will also complete what I personally consider the holy trinity of basic customization, after the Nubmark removal and the panel lining. If you didn't see those tutorials, I will leave a link in the description below. Be sure to check it out. Before starting with the tutorial, let me first introduce you the special guest of this episode. From Japan, Mr. Master Grid Extreme Strike Freedom Gundam. Sorry guys, but I had to brag about this absolute monster of a kit. I had way too much fun building it, and it's going to be our model for this tutorial. And here's also a short review. It's amazing. Get one. Despite the hefty price, this mother lover is absolutely dope. I'm so impressed by this third-party Wings of Light set I managed to put my little dirty fingers on. The display is huge and impressive to say at least. But now, let's get down to business. I know that I usually give you multiple options on how to do your detailing. Well, not today. There is only one way to go, trust me. What you will need is your hobby knife, tweezers, water, Q-tips, and these Mr. Hobby products, Mr. Mark Setter and Mr. Mark Softer. The softer is optional, but the setter is a must. You can get the same products from different brands, of course, but I have been so satisfied that I never felt the need to even think about trying any other. This as their GOAT for water decals. So here we are with our model and our decals sheet. The technique will differ a bit, depending on the size of the decal. Let's now start with a small one, like this. Use your knife to cut it out, making sure you're leaving a bit of space around. You really don't want to ruin it and cut straight through it. Then just grab it and dip it into water. Take it out and let it a few seconds for it to be ready. Shake well your setter, take out the brush and remove any excess, so it will not drip. At this point, just put the brush down with the tip pointing up. Just poke it a bit. If it moves, well, you're ready to go. Grab the decal with your tweezers and gently pass it on the back of the brush. Then you will be ready to apply it on the model. While the decal is wet, you can easily adjust it, just pushing it on the side. If you don't feel comfortable with the tweezers, you can just use a toothpick, which is less likely going to do any damage. Once the decal is in place, you can use a Q-tip to remove any liquid around and especially under the decal. What you need to do is to gently press it on the part and roll it over. Do not drag it, or the decal will move out of place. Once everything is nicely dried, well, you're done. Before proceeding, let me ask you, if you're enjoying this video, to leave a like and maybe consider to subscribe. It really helps the channel grow in the great sea that's YouTube. And let me know in the comments below if you found this tutorial useful. Let's now see what to do with a bigger decal. This one is perfect. It's long and narrow. If you try to pass it directly on the brush, like we did before, it will fold on itself, and detangling it is a pain you do not want to experience. Trust me. Let's wet it, and while it gets ready, we use the brush to put some drops of setter directly where we want the decal to be. At this point the process is pretty much the same. Adjust it carefully and dry out any excess with a Q-tip. Putting the setter directly on the part means that there is now way too much liquid under the decal, so you need to make sure that there are no bubbles. Take your time with the Q-tip until it's nicely flat and dried. If it smooth, which it will, you should still have time to adjust it. And this is exactly where I want it to be. But what about the software? Well, the software will come in use in case you have a curved surface, or your decal need to be applied on an uneven surface, like a panel line for example. The software will basically melt the decal, so it will adapt to the surface. I want now to apply this one, and as you can see, on the part there is a sharp change in the surface. A perfect example on where the software can be useful. Just repeat the process we learned, and after the decal is in place, just brush it with the software. Be really delicate at this point, because after a few seconds from the application, the decal will be really fragile. If you start to tinker with it, move it around too much, it can break really easily. Just dry it out and remove any excess of liquid. And you're ready for the next decal. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful and you enjoyed this time together. See you next time and, as always, keep calm and keep building!